Hello and welcome back to Brendan Moir's Playwright Corner, where I read plays, poems, or whatever's currently striking my fancy at the moment. Today we're going to be finishing up the Myth of Cuchulainn with W.B. Yeats's The Only Jealousy of Emer and The Death of Cuchulainn. These were recorded in two separate stints, so we might end up just combining the two of them to create a complete episode, but hopefully you're used to that by now. So, without any further ado, let's start with The Only Jealousy of Emer. The persons in the play are the three musicians, their faces made up to resemble masks, the ghost of Cuchulainn wearing a mask, the figure of Cuchulainn wearing a mask, Emer and Enya Ingeba, both masked, or their faces made up to resemble masks, and a woman of the she wearing a mask. Enter musicians, who are dressed and made up as at the Hawk's Well. They have the same musical instruments, which can either be already upon the stage, or be brought in by the first musician before he stands in the center with the cloth between his hands, or by a player when the cloth has been unfolded. The stage, as before, can be against the wall of any room, and the same black cloth can be used as in At the Hawk's Well. Song for the folding and unfolding of the cloth. First musician. A woman's beauty is like a white, frail bird, like a white sea-bird alone. At daybreak, after stormy night, between two furrows upon the ploughed land. A sudden storm, and it was thrown, between dark furrows upon the ploughed land. How many centuries spent, the sedentary soil in toils of measurement, beyond eagle or mole, beyond hearing or seeing, or Archimedes' guess, to raise into being that loveliness. A strange, unserviceable thing, a frail, exquisite, pale shell, that the vast troubled waters bring to the loud sands before day has broken. A storm arose and suddenly fell amid the dark before day had broken. What death, what discipline, what bonds no man could unbind, being imagined within the labyrinth of the mind. What pursuing or fleeing, what wounds, what bloody press dragged into being this loveliness. When the cloth is folded again, the musicians take their place against the wall. The folding of the cloth shows on one side of the stage the curtained bed or litter on which lies a man in his grave clothes. He wears a heroic mask. Another man with exactly similar clothes and mask crouches near the front. Emer is sitting beside the bed. First musician speaking. I call before the eyes a roof, with crossbeams darkened by smoke. A fisher's net hangs from a beam, a long oar lies against the wall. I call up a poor fisher's house. A man lies dead or swooning. That amorous man. That amorous, violent man, renowned Cuchulainn, Queen Emer at his side. At our own bidding, all the rest have gone. But now no one comes on hesitating feet. Young Enya Ingeba, Cuchulainn's mistress. She stands a moment in the open door. Beyond the open door, the bitter sea, the shining, bitter sea is crying out. Singing. White shell, white wing. I will not choose for my friend a frail, unserviceable thing that drifts and dreams, and but knows that waters are without end, and that wind blows. Emer speaking. Come hither. Come sit down beside the bed. You need not be afraid, for I myself sent for you. Enya Ingeba. Enya. No, madam. I have too deeply wronged you to sit there. Emer. Of all the people in the world, we two, and we alone may watch together here, because we have loved him best. Enya. And is he dead? Although they have dressed him out in his grave clothes, and stretched his limbs, Cuchulainn is not dead. The very heavens, when that day is at hand, so that his death may not lack ceremony, will throw out fires, and the earth grow red with blood. I shall not be a scullion, but foreknows it like the world's end. Enya. How did it come to this? Emer. Towards noon, in the assembly of the kings, he met with one who seemed a while most dear. The king stood around. Some quarrel was blown up. He drove him out and killed him on the shore, at Bailey's tree. And he who was so killed was his own son begot on some wild woman when he was young. Or so I've heard it said. And thereupon, knowing what man he had killed, and being mad with sorrow, he ran out. And after to his middle in the foam, with shield before him, and with sword in hand, he fought the deathless sea. The kings looked on, and not a king stretched an arm, or even dared call his name, but all stood wondering in that dumb stupor like the cattle in a gale, until at last, as though he had fixed his eyes on a new enemy, he waited out until the water had swept over him. But the waves washed his senseless image up and laid it at this door. Enya. How pale he looks. Emer. He is not dead. Enya. You have not kissed his lips, nor laid his head upon your breast. Emer. It may be an image has been put into his place, a sea-born log bewitched into his likeness, or some stark horseman grown too old to ride among the troops of Manannan, son of the sea, now that his joints are stiff. Enya. Cry out his name. All that are taken from our sight, they say, loiter amid the scenery of their lives for certain hours or days. And should he hear, he might, being angry, drive the changeling out. Emer. It is hard to make them hear amid their darkness, and it is long since I could call him home. I am but his wife. But if you cry aloud, with the sweet voice that is so dear to him, he cannot help but listen. Enya. He loves me best, being his newest love, but in the end will love the woman who best loved him first, and loved him through the years when love seemed lost. Emer. I have that hope. The hope that someday, somewhere, we'll sit together at the hearth again. Enya. Women like me, the violent hour passed over, are flung into some corner like old nutshells. Cuchulainn, listen. Emer. No. Not yet. For first I'll cover up his face to hide the sea, and throw new logs upon the hearth and stir the half-burnt logs until they break in flame. Old Manannan's unbridled horses come out of the sea, and on their backs his horsemen. But all the enchantments of the dreaming foam dread the hearth fire. She pulls the curtains of the bed so as to hide the sick man's face, that the actor may change his mask unseen. She goes to one side of the platform and moves her hand as though putting logs on a fire and stirring it into a blaze. While she makes these movements, the musicians play, marking the movements with drum and flute, perhaps. Having finished, she stands beside the imaginary fire at a distance from Cuchulainn and Enya Ingiba. Call on Cuchulainn now. Enya. Can you not hear my voice? Emer. Bend over him. Call out dear secrets till you have touched his heart if he lies there. If he is not there, till you have made him jealous. Enya. Cuchulainn. Listen. Emer. Those words sound timidly. To be afraid because his wife is but 3 paces off, when there is so great a need, what but to prove the man who chose you made but a poor choice? What about 2 women struggling with the sea? Enya. Oh, my beloved, pardon me that I have been ashamed. I thrust my shame away. I have never sent a message or called out, scarce had a longing for your company, but you have known and come. And if indeed you are lying there, stretch out your arms and speak. Open your mouth and speak, for to this hour my company has made you talkative. What ails your tongue? Or what has closed your ears? Our passion had not chilled when we were parted on the pale shore under the breaking dawn. He cannot speak, or else his ears are closed and no sound reaches him. Emer, then kiss that image. The pressure of your mouth upon his mouth may reach him where he is. Enya, starting back. It is no man. I felt some evil thing that dried my heart when my lips touched it. Emer, no. His body stirs. The pressure of your mouth has called him home. He's thrown the changeling out. Enya, going further off. Look at that arm. That arm is withered to the very socket. Emer, going up to the bed. What do you come for? And from where? Figure of Cuchulainn.
I have come from Manannan's court upon a brideless horse.
Emer. What one among the she has dared to lie upon Cuchulainn's bed and take his image?
I am named Burikriu. That Burikriu, maker of discord among gods and men, called Burikriu of the she.
Emer. Come for what purpose? Figure of Cuchulainn, sitting up, parting curtain, and showing its distorted face, as Enya Inyuba goes out.
I show my face, and everything he loves must fly away.
Emer. You people of the wind are full of lying speech and mockery. I have not fled your face.
You are not loved,
and therefore have no dread to meet your eyes and to demand him of you.
For that I have come. You have but to pay the price, and he is free.
Do the she bargain?
When they would free a captive, they take in ransom a less valued thing. The fisher, when some knowledgeable man restores to him his wife or son or daughter, knows he must lose a boat or a net. Or it may be the cow that gives his children milk. And some have offered their own lives. I do not ask your life or any valuable thing. You spoke but now of the mere chance that some day you'd be the apple of his eye again, when old and ailing. But renounce that chance, and he shall live again.
Emer. I do not question. But you have brought ill luck on all he loves. And now, because I am thrown beyond your power, unless your words are lies, you come to bargain.
You loved your mastery when but newly married, and I love mine for all my withered arm. You have but to put yourself into that power, and he shall live again.
No. Never. Never.
You dare not be accursed. Yet he has dared.
I have but two joyous thoughts. Two things I prize. A hope. A memory. And now you claim that hope?
He'll never sit beside you at the hearth, or make old bones but die of wounds and toil on some far shore or mountain, a strange woman beside his mattress.
You ask for my one hope that you may bring your curse on all about him.
You've watched his loves, and you have not been jealous, knowing that he would tire. But do those tire that love the she? Come closer to the bed, that I may touch your eyes and give them sight.
He touches her eyes with his left hand, the right being withered. Emer, seeing the crouching ghost of Cuchulainn. My husband is there.
I have dissolved the dark that hid him from your eyes, but not that other that's hidden you from his.
Oh, husband, husband.
He cannot hear, being shut off a phantom that can neither touch nor hear nor see. The longing and the cries have drawn him hither. He heard no sound, heard no articulate sound. They could but banish rest, and make him dream. And in that dream, as do all dreaming shades before they are accustomed to their freedom, he has taken his familiar form. And yet, he crouches there, not knowing where he is, or at whose side he is crouched.
A woman of the she has entered and stands a little inside the door. Emer. Who is this woman?
She has hurried from the country under wave, and dreamed herself into that shape that he may glitter in her basket. For the she are dexterous fishers, and they fish for men with dreams upon the hook.
And so that woman has hid herself in this disguise and made herself into a lie.
A dream is a body. The dead move ever towards a dreamless youth, and when they dream no more, return no more. And those more holy shades that never lived but to visit you in dreams.
I know her sort. They find our men asleep, weary with war, lap them in cloudy hair, and kiss their lips. Our men awake in ignorance of it all. But when we take them in our arms at night, we cannot break their solitude. She draws a knife from her girdle.
No knife could wound that body of air. Be silent. Listen. I have not given you eyes and ears for nothing.
The woman of the she moves round the crouching ghost of Cuchulainn at front of stage in a dance that grows gradually quicker as he slowly awakes. At moments she may drop her hair upon his head, but she does not kiss him. She is accompanied by string and flute and drum. Her mask and clothes must suggest gold or bronze or brass or silver, so that she seems more an idol than a human being. This suggestion may be repeated in her movements. Her hair, too, must keep the metallic suggestion. Ghost of Cuchulainn. Who is it stands before me there, shedding such light from limb and hair, as when the moon, complete at last, with every labouring crescent past, and lonely with extreme delight, flings out upon the 15th night? Woman of the she. Because I long I am not complete. What pulled your hands about your feet, pulled down your head upon your knees, and hid your face?
Old memories.
A woman in her happy youth, before her man had broken truth, dead men and women, memories, have pulled my head upon my knees. Could you that loved many a woman, that did not reach beyond the human, lacking a day to be complete, love one that, though her heart can beat, lacks it but by an hour or so? I know you now. For long ago I met you on a cloudy hill and beside old thorn trees and a well. A woman danced, and a hawk flew. I held out arms and hands, but you, that now seem friendly, fled away. Half woman, and half bird of prey. Hold out your arms and hands again. You were not so dumbfounded when I was that bird of prey, and yet I am all woman now. I am not the young and passionate man I was. And though that brilliant light surpass all crescent forms my memories, weigh down my hands, abash my eyes. Then kiss my mouth. Though memory be beauty's bitterest enemy, I have no dread. For at my kiss, memory on the moment vanishes. Nothing but beauty can remain. And shall I ever know again intricacies of blind remorse? Time shall seem to stay his course. When your mouth and my mouth meet, all my rounds shall be complete, imagining all its circles run, and there shall be oblivion. Even to quench Cuchulainn's drouth, even to still that heart, your mouth They are about to kiss. He turns away. Oh, Emer. Emer! So then it is she made you impure with memory. Oh, Emer. Emer, there we stand, side by side and in hand, tread the threshold of the house, and when our parents married us, being among the dead you love her, that valued every slut above her while you lived. Oh, my lost Emer! And there is not a single loose-tongued schemer but could draw you, if not dead, from her table and her bed. But what could make you fit to live, with flesh and blood being born to live, where no one speaks of broken troth? For all have washed out of their eyes wind-blown dirt of their memories to improve their sight. Your mouth. Your mouth. She goes out, followed by Ghost of Cuchulainn. Figure of Cuchulainn.
Cry out that you renounce his love. Make haste, and cry out that you renounce his love forever.
Emer, no. Never will I give that cry.
Fool! I am Fan's enemy come to thwart her will, and you stand gaping there. There is still time. Hear how the horses trample on the shore. Hear how they trample. She is mounted up. Cuchulainn is not beside her in the chariot. There is still a moment left. Cry out! Cry out! Renounce him, and her power is at an end. Cuchulainn's foot is on the chariot step. Cry, Emer!
I renounce Cuchulainn's love forever! The figure of Cuchulainn sinks back upon the bed, half drawing the curtain. Enya Inguba comes in and kneels by bed. Enya Inguba. Come to me, my beloved. It is I, Enya Inguba. Look, he is there. He has come back and moved upon the bed. And it is I that have won him from the sea, that brought him back to life. Emer. Cuchulainn wakes. The figure turns round. It once more wears the heroic mask. Cuchulainn. Your arms, oh Enya Inguba, I have been in some strange place and am afraid. The first musician comes to the front of the stage. The others from each side, and unfold the cloth singing. Although the door be shut, and all seem well enough, although wide world hold not a man but will give you his love. The moment he has looked at you, he that has loved the best may turn from a statue his too human breast. O bitter reward of many a tragic tomb! And we, though astonished, are dumb, or give but a sigh and a word, a passing word. What makes your heart so beat? What man is at your side? When beauty is complete, your own thought will have died. And danger not be diminished, dimmed at 3/4 light, when moon's round is finished. The stars are out of sight. O bitter reward of many a tragic tomb! And we, though astonished, are dumb, or give but a sigh and a word, a passing word. When the cloth is folded again, the stage is bare. The end. And now for The Death of Cuchulainn, written in 1939. The persons of the play are Cuchulainn, Enya Inguba, Aoife, Emer, the Morrigu, goddess of war, an old man, a blind man, a servant, a singer, a piper, and a drummer. Scene: a bare stage of any period. A very old man looking like something out of mythology. Old man: I have been asked to produce a play called The Death of Cuchulainn. It is the last of a series of plays which has for theme his life and death. I have been selected because I am out of fashion and out of date like the antiquated romantic stuff the thing is made of. I'm so old that I have forgotten the name of my father and mother. Unless, indeed, I am, as I affirm, the son of Talma. And he was so old that his friends and acquaintances still read Virgil and Homer. When they told me that I could have my own way, I wrote certain guiding principles on a bit of newspaper. I wanted an audience of 50 or 100. If there are more, I beg them not to shuffle their feet or talk when the actors are speaking. I am sure that as I am producing a play for people I like, it is not probable in this vile age that they will be more in number than those who listened to the first performance of Milton's Como. On the present occasion, they must know the old epics in Mr. Yeats's plays about them. Such people, however, have libraries of their own. If there are more than 100, I won't be able to escape people who are educating themselves out of the book of societies and the like. See all pickpockets and opinionated bitches. Why pickpockets? I will explain that. I will make it all quite clear. Drum and pipe behind the scene. Then silence. As from the musicians, I asked them to do that if I was getting excited. If you were as old, you would find it easy to get excited. Before the night ends, you will meet the music. There is a singer, a piper, and a drummer. I've picked them up here and there about the streets, and I will teach them, if I live, the music of the beggar man. Homer's music. I promised a dance. I wanted to dance because where there are no words, there is less to spoil. Emer must dance. There must be severed heads. I'm old. I belong to mythology. Severed heads for her to dance before. I had thought to have had those heads carved, but no. If the dancer can dance properly, no wood carving can look as well as a parallelogram of painted wood. But I was at my wits' end to find a good dancer. I could have got such a dancer once. But she is gone. The tragicomedian dancer, the tragic dancer, upon the neck love of loathing life and death. I spit 3 times. I spit upon the dancers painted by Degas. I spit upon their short bodices, their stiff stays, their toes whereupon they spin like peg tops, above all upon that chambermaid face. They might have looked timeless. Ramses the Great. But not the chambermaid. That's old maid history. I spit. I spit. I spit. The stage is darkened. The curtain falls. Pipe and drum begin and continue until the curtain rises on a bare stage. Half a minute later, Enya Ingiba enters. Enya. Cuchulainn! Cuchulainn! Cuchulainn enters from back. I'm Emer's messenger. I am your wife's messenger. She has bid me say you must not linger here in sloth. For Maeve, with all those Connaught ruffians at her back, burns barns and houses up in Ive Macha. Your house at Moirtem already burns. No matter what's the odds, no matter though your death may come of it, ride out and fight. The scene is set, and you must out and fight. Cuchulainn. You have told me nothing. I am already armed. I have sent a messenger to gather men and wait for his return. What have you there? Enya. I have nothing. Cuchulainn. There is something in your hand. Enya. No. Have you a letter in your hand? I do not know how it got into my hand. I am straight from Emer. We were in some place. She spoke. She saw. This letter is from Emer. It tells a different story. I am not to move until tomorrow morning, for if now, I must face odds no man can face and live. Tomorrow morning, Conall Carnach comes with a great host. Enya. I do not understand. Who could have put that letter in my hand? And there is something more to make it certain I shall not stir till morning. You are sent to be my bedfellow. But have no fear, all that is written. I am for the fight. I and my handful are set upon the fight. We have faced great odds before, as straw decided. The Morrigu enters and stands between them. Enya. I know that somebody or something is there. Yet nobody that I can see.
There is nobody.
Who among the gods of the air and the upper air has a bird's head?
Moir is headed like a crow.
Moir, water goddess stands between. Her black wing touched me upon the shoulder, and all is intelligible. The Moir goes out. Maeve put me in a trance. Oh, when Cuchulainn slept with her as a boy, she seemed as pretty as a bird. She has changed. She has an eye in the middle of her forehead.
A woman that has an eye in the middle of her forehead. A woman that is headed like a crow. But she that put those words into your mouth had nothing monstrous. You put them there yourself. You need a younger man, a friendlier man, but fearing what my violence might do, thought out these words to send me to my death. And when in such excitement you forgot the letter in your hand.
Enya. Now that I wake, I say that Maeve did nothing out of reason. What mouth could you believe if not my mouth?
When I went mad at my son's death and drew my sword against the sea, it was my wife that brought me back.
Enya. Better women than I have served you well. But 'twas to me you turned.
You thought that if you changed, I'd kill you for it. When everything sublunary must change. And if I have not changed, that goes to prove that I am monstrous.
You're not the man I loved. That violent man forgave no treachery. If, thinking what you think you can forgive, it is because you are about to die.
Spoken too loudly and too near the door. Speak low if you would speak about my death, or not in that strange voice exulting in it. Who knows what ears listen behind the door?
Enya, some that would not forgive a traitor. Some that have a passion necessary for life. Some not about to die. When you are gone, I should denounce myself to all your cooks, scullions, armourers, bedmakers, and messengers, until they hammer me with a ladle, cut me with a knife, impale me upon a spit, put me to death, by what foul way they best please their fancy, so that my shade can stand among the shades, and greet your shade, and prove it is no traitor.
Cuchulainn. Women have spoken so, plotting a man's death.
Enter a servant. Servant. Your great horse is bitted. I'll wait the word.
Cuchulainn. I come to give it, but must ask a question. This woman, wild with grief, declares that she out of pure treachery has told me lies that should have brought my death. What can I do? How can I save her from her own wild words?
Servant. Is her confession true?
I make the truth. I say she brings a message from my wife.
Servant. What if I make her swallow poppy juice?
What herb seems suitable, but protect her life as it were your own. And should I not return, give her to Conall Carnach, because the women have called him a good lover.
Enya. I might have peace that know the Morrigu. The woman like a crow stands to my defence and cannot lie. But that Cuchulainn is about to die. Pipe and drum. The stage grows dark for a moment. When it lights up again, it is empty. Cuchulainn enters wounded. He tries to fasten himself to a pillar stone with his belt. Aoife, an erect white-haired woman, enters. Aoife. Am I recognized? Cuchulainn.
Cuchulainn. You fought with a sword. It seemed that we should kill each other. And your body wearied in. I took your sword.
Aoife. But look again, Cuchulainn. Look again. Cuchulainn.
Your hair is white.
Aoife. That time was long ago. And now it is my time. I have come to kill you.
Cuchulainn. Where am I? Why am I here?
Aoife. You asked our leave, uncertain that you had 6 mortal wounds to drink out of the pool.
Cuchulainn. I put my belt about this stone and want to fasten it and die upon my feet. But I am too weak. Fasten this belt.
She helps him to do so.
Now I know your name. Aoife. The mother of my son. We met at the Hawk's Well under the withered trees. I killed him upon Bailey Strand. That is why Maeve parted ranks, that she might let you through. You have a right to kill me.
Aoife. Though I have, her army did not part to let me through. The Grey of Macha, that great horse of yours killed in the battle, came out of the pool as though it were alive, and went 3 times in a great circle round you and that stone, then leapt into the pool. And not a man of all that terrified army dared approach. But I approach. Cuchulainn.
Because you have the right.
Aoife. But I am an old woman now, and that your strength may not start up when the time comes, I wind my veil about this ancient stone, and fasten you to it. Cuchulainn.
But do not spoil your veil. Your veils are beautiful, some with threads of gold.
Aoife.
I'm too old to care for such things now.
Cuchulainn.
There is no reason to spoil your veil. I am weak from loss of blood.
Aoife. I was afraid. But now that I have wound you in the veil, I am not afraid. But how did my son fight?
Cuchulainn. Age makes more skillful, but not better men.
Aoife. I have been told you did not know his name, and wanted, because he had the look of me, to be his friend. But Conor forbade it.
Cuchulainn. Forbade it, and commanded me to fight. That very day I had sworn to do his will, yet refused him, and spoke about a look. But somebody spoke of witchcraft, and I said witchcraft had made the look, and fought, and killed him. Then I went mad. I fought against the sea.
Aoife. I seemed invulnerable. You took my sword and threw me on the ground and left me there. I searched the mountains for your sleeping place and laid my virgin body at your side. And yet, because you had left me, hated you, and thought that I would kill you in your sleep, and yet begot a son that night between 2 black thorn trees.
Cuchulainn. I cannot understand. Because about to die.
Somebody comes. Some countryman. When he finds you here and none to protect him will be terrified. I will keep out of his sight, for I have things that I must ask questions on before I kill you. She goes. The blind man of On Bailey's Strand comes in. He moves his stick about until he finds a standing stone. He lays his stick down, stoops, and touches Cuchulainn's feet. He feels the legs. Blind man. Ah! Cuchulainn.
I think you are a blind old man.
Blind man. A blind old beggar man. What is your name?
Cuchulainn.
They say that you are weak with wounds. I stood between the fool at the sea and Bailey's Strand when you went mad. What's bound about your hands so that they cannot move? Some womanish stuff. I had been fumbling with my stick since dawn, and then heard many voices. I began to beg. Somebody said that I was in Maeve's tent, and somebody else, a big man by his voice, that if I brought Cuchulainn's head in a bag, I would be given 12 pennies. I had the bag to carry what I get at kitchen doors. Somebody told me how to find the place. I thought it would have taken till the night, but this has been my lucky day.
12 pennies.
I would not promise anything until the woman, the great Queen Maeve herself, repeated the words.
12 pennies. What better reason for killing a man? You have a knife. But have you sharpened it?
Blind man. I keep it sharp because it cuts my food. He lays bag on ground and begins feeling Cuchulainn's body, his hands mounting upwards. Cuchulainn.
I think that you know everything, blind man. My mother or my nurse said that the blind know everything.
No, but they have good sense. How could I have got 12 pennies for your head if I had not good sense?
Cuchulainn. There floats out there the shape that I shall take when I am dead. My soul's first shape. A soft, feathery shape. And is not that a strange shape for the soul of a great fighting man?
Blind man. Your shoulder is there. This is your neck. Are you ready, Cuchulainn?
I say, it is about to sing.
The stage darkens. Blind man. Ah! Music of pipe and drum. The curtain falls. The music ceases as the curtain rises upon a bare stage. There is nobody upon the stage except a woman with a crow's head. She is the Morrigu. She stands towards the back. She holds a black parallelogram the size of a man's head. There are 6 other parallelograms near the black cloth. The Morrigu. The dead can hear me, and to the dead I speak. This head is great Cuchulainn's. Those other 6 gave him 6 mortal wounds. This man came first. Youth lingered through the years ran on, that season a woman loves the best. Maeve's latest lover, this man, had given him the 2nd wound. He had possessed her once. These were her sons, 2 valiant men that gave the 3rd and 4th. These other men were men of no account. They saw that he was weakening and crept in. One gave him the 6th wound, and one the 5th. Conall avenged him. I arranged the dance. Emer enters. The Morrigu places the head of Cuchulainn upon the ground and goes out. Emer runs in and begins to dance. She so moves that she seems to rage against the heads of those that had wounded Cuchulainn, perhaps makes movements as though to strike them, going 3 times round the circle of the heads. She then moves towards the head of Cuchulainn. It may, if need be raised above the others on a pedestal. She moves as if in adoration or triumph. She is about to prostrate herself before it, perhaps does so, then rises, looking up, as if listening. She seems to hesitate between the head and what she hears. Then she stands motionless. There is silence. And in the silence, a few faint bird notes. The stage darkens slowly. Then comes a loud music, but now it is quite different. It is the music of some Irish fair of our day. The stage brightens. Emer and the head are gone. There is no one there but the 3 musicians. They are in ragged street singers' clothes. 2 of them begin to pipe and drum. They cease. The street singer begins to sing. The harlot sang to the beggar man. I meet them face to face. Conall Cuchulainn Wisna's boys, all that most ancient race. Maeve had 3 in an hour, they say. I adore those clever eyes. Those muscular bodies but can get no grip upon their thighs. I meet those long pale faces. Hear their great horses then. Recall what centuries have passed since they were living men. That there are still some living that do my limbs unclothe, but that the flesh my flesh is gripped, I both adore and loathe. Pipe and drum music. Are those things that men adore and loathe their sole reality? What stood in the post office with Pierce and Connolly? What comes out of the mountain where men first shed their blood? Who thought Cuchulainn till it seemed he stood where they had stood? No body like his body has modern woman born, but an old man looking back on life imagines it in scorn. A statue's there to mark the place, by Oliver Shepherd done. So ends the tale that the harlot sang to the beggar man. Music from pipe and drum. The end. And that is the end of the Death of Cuchulainn and W.B. Yeats's take on the Irish myth. I hope you enjoyed it. It feels more like a 5-act play than a 5 separate plays, and I think if anyone were to perform it as such, it would make total and complete sense. Anyways, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to have you back in Brendan Moir's Playwright Corner. Thank you.